Hey everybody, this is going to be a first ever for me anyway. I don't know if anybody else has tried this, but if this works, you're going to see more videos like this. Because I got a video response to the video I made. So, through the magic of computer editing software, I'm going to attempt, if this works, you'll see more videos that I take apart of other people's, because then that might be a better way for me to get my point across, because as we know, I am not the most eloquent speaker in the world, but I am great at answering questions and making points. So here we go.
This is a video response to Dave DeSarte's video that he put out about the NRA. I've supported Dave all through this for almost 2 years now. I have donated to his cause. I feel that the man was wronged with his ammunition and his guns and everything being confiscated. You know, I even donated, you know, to his legal fund. I've written letters. I've made phone calls.
You know, she was writing the letters and stuff. I hope she gets the story straight, because so far it doesn't sound this is going good.
But his video today kind of drew a line with me. How can you, as a Christian, as a fellow American citizen, as someone that believes in the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights, go on TV and say,
is this television? I guess it's television today. I thought it was kind of like YouTube and the internet myself. Sorry.
You know, well, if I can't have my way, if I can't have a gun, nobody else is going to have a gun.
Why do you keep cutting your eyes when you say that? You know you're making crap up now. I never said that. I said it makes me feel that way. And I asked a question. In my video, I was posing a question. It makes me feel like doing this. It makes me feel like, you know, when people don't support the unconstitutional way I've been treated, they don't support this. I don't get the support for something that is blatantly unconstitutional. Yeah, I get upset about it.
That's like a 5-year-old throwing a temper tantrum because he got 5 presents at his birthday party, but the kid across the street got 11.
You know, then you feel betrayed, because why didn't they cut the neighbor's trees down? Call them up and say, hey, my neighbor's trees are 4 foot off the easement too. Why you cut mine down and not his? So go cut his down too. You know, doesn't that make you feel that way? Just common things when you feel like you've been unjustly treated. Another thing, I kind of love the way a non-Christian always uses my Christianity against me.
You know, it's like, why not me? First of all, the situation that you were in and the reason for your weapons to be confiscated was actually your own fault.
She supported me. This sounds like a die-hard supporter of mine, doesn't it? Let me tell you something. I agree. It was my fault. I should have never gone to the doctor, and I should have never told that doctor the truth. I should have never expected any help from a health professional. Yep, that was my mistake. You say, you know, go to the doctor, and I never told the doctor I was going to commit suicide. I told the doctor when I was suffocating, when I could not breathe, I had felt like it. That I thought about it at that time. No time since, no time before. Only while the attack was happening.
You know, you don't think about what you say. You just go on a rant and you just let it go. You know, you don't think about what you say. You just go on a rant and you just let it go.
I find that people that think too much about what they're saying are usually thinking up something that's not true. That's why I love honesty. And honesty gets me in more trouble than anything. Trust me. That's why I rant. Why should I script something? That's why politicians read that teleprompter. They read a teleprompter to keep them out of trouble. Because somebody like this is going to take everything you say and turn it around and twist it into something else.
As for calling out other preppers, other people on YouTube,
I called out other people, or I used them as an example?
even when they're not bothering you, just like in your video about the NRA.
Keep in mind, they're not bothering me. Keep this portion in mind later.
Even when they're not bothering you, just like in your video about the NRA and not supporting them anymore. You called out LowBuck and the Armory channel. Well, I'm not really acquainted too much with the Armory channel, but LowBuck and I are very good friends.
Now we're at the crux of this video. The first part was a song and dance, and now we're at the meat. Now we're at the meat of the video. This is why she made it, because she thinks I called out LowBuck. I don't hate LowBuck. LowBuck hates me. I do not hate LowBuck. Matter of fact, if LowBuck was broke down on the side of the road, I would probably stop and help him.
You know, and the man, he is a good man. He helps everybody. But I understand now, I haven't before, and I even asked him about it. Why he didn't, didn't support you. Well, now I understand. I understand.
You do? Because I used him as an example as people hating me? See, I used him as an example as somebody that hates me to bring a point across that I support LowBuck. I support his right to keep and bear arms, even though he hates me. Even though he hates me. There you go.
Because you're like a turncoat. If something doesn't go your way, then you have a fit. If somebody doesn't support what you've got going on, then you hate them. You troll them. Just like
Who have I trolled? Have I trolled somebody? I hope I can make this video sync. This is going to be a wonderful video. It was Goat Hollow's show. Goat Hollow, and I hate to get somebody's name wrong, but it was the author of the book Prepper's Road March. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm reading it now. Let me go back to home. And reading now. The Solitary Man in Defense of Preppers. Ron Forster. Not Forrester. Ron Foster. Ron Foster. Okay, we got it there. This is going to be a lot of work on this video.
Just like a month ago, we were on a show over at Preppers Radio Broadcasting. And you came into the room and you automatically started to try to pick fights with people in the room.
I tried to pick fights. Let's get this straight. LowBuck started cursing me. Now, I don't go for cursing. And I try not to. I don't use God's name in vain, which is what I call cursing. Now, blackguarding and using some strong language, yeah, I'm guilty. Sorry, I'm guilty. But, LowBuck came into the chat room calling me a fraud and all these things. And, I may have mentioned something about him being drunk again or something like that. So, I could have instigated that part. But the other comment I made in the room was about Ron in his book. You can read the book for yourself. When the EMP was happening, or the solar storm in his book was happening, he was coming back from Panama drinking, so, from a long drunk. In his book, he mentions being on a long drunk. So I mentioned that, and that set LowBuck off, and that's when the cussing match started, and they decided to kick me out. LowBuck was calling me a fraud and everything else. So what she doesn't mention in the story is that because I was kicked out of the room, I called Goat Hollow up on the phone, and we had a good conversation with we had a great conversation with Ron, and Ron let me know that he watched my videos and was talking about the fruit trees, my peach trees. I use the contender breed of fruit trees. Anyway, that's for another story. Let's go on and listen to more of this nonsense.
And after 3 warnings, you got blocked. You got knocked out of the room. I mean, I have supported you all the way through this, but I will support you no longer, because the main thing is it scares me. Because if your rights are reinstated, when the time comes or a shit hit the fan situation comes, you're going to be one of the guys that's going to be the turncoat.
I have mentioned LowBuck, so now I'm on that poop list. And one thing, nobody that has ever known me will ever say that I was ever a turncoat. The only person I have ever turned on was people that stabbed me in the back. I have bailed people out. I mean, that's one thing, I never leave a man behind unless that man is a traitor. If you stab me in the back, then I feel no obligation to you. Okay?
Whatever is going to gain the most for you, regardless whether it's right or wrong, you're not going to stand beside your fellow man. You're not going to be an American citizen. You're going to be whatever gains you the most. You know, and as far as Christianity, poisoning people, you know, putting up traps in your food that people will be poisoned, fighting, you know, shooting people if they even approach your property, or threatening to shoot them, threatening, you know, that's ridiculous. That's not a Christian attitude.
I won't stand beside my fellow man. Well, if they go against the Constitution of the United States, I won't. You know, if I was as bad as this girl makes me out to be, would I be putting her on or just making my point? No, I'm letting her say exactly what she wants to say, and I'm going to dispute everything, because what she's saying now is totally false.
You know, and as far as Christianity, poisoning people, you know, putting up traps in your food that people will be poisoned,
putting traps in my food so that you will be poisoned. What are you doing in my food? Stealing? Killing me? You know what? Everything, you know, if you label your barrels, all your food barrels, with poison stickers on them, and people break into them and eat them, why not just go to the grocery store and get a bottle of Drano and drink it? You know, it says poison on it. Everything's labeled. You know, in a perfect world, wouldn't have to do that. But you know, if you look at all the comments of the gun preppers and people that their whole intent is to come out and steal the preppers' food. People that are prepared. There are people out there that are planning to come out, kill us, and take our stuff. Otherwise, wouldn't have to set booby traps and poison your stuff, would you? No, wouldn't have to do it.
You know, shooting people if they even approach your property.
Yep, if they come up with guns and are planning on doing stuff if they approach the property, yep, poo's hit the fan. I got a group of people coming up to my property trying to take over. Time for lead poisoning. Sorry, I agree. I did that.
Or threatened to shoot them. Threatening.
Well, if I threaten to shoot them and they leave, that means I didn't have to shoot them in the first place. So threatening can be a good thing. Don't come up and break into my house, steal my stuff, kill my dogs, and I won't shoot you. How's that? That's a threat, isn't it? It is a threat to prevent people from coming in here and killing my dogs and breaking into my stuff. If the threat works, it's like the MAD doctrine. Remember, mutual assured destruction? Worked for the country. Why won't it work for me? So yes, it's a threat. if you come in here and do this, there's consequences.
You know, that's ridiculous. That's not a Christian attitude.
Oh my gosh, with all the hate in her eyes, she's going to talk about Christianity now? You know what? I got to pray for this girl. Lord Jesus, please help this woman open her eyes. Let her know that everything I'm doing is what you're leading me to do.
So, and you don't have to worry about blocking me or anything like that. I'm going to block myself. I'm also unsubscribing to your channel, period. You know, and anybody else out there watching, you really need to wake up. It's people like this throwing these little fits and, well, I'm going to start campaigning so you don't have a right either. That's the exact reason that we're in the problems we are today here in the United States. It's became a nation of the one versus the rights of more than the multitude. So, Dave, I wish you well in your lifetime, but I'll no longer support you. Good day.
Well, that video didn't really come out the way I'd hoped. I'm going to have to get better at running this editing software. There you go. This is a typical response of somebody that takes what you got and spews it all over the place. She never really supported me. Could anybody gather? She never really supported me because she picked out everything that I've ever done to make her mad. Now, does that sound like somebody's been supporting you or somebody that's been nitpicking at everything you do? She has misconstrued everything that I've said and twisted it around. But I really honestly think this is all about me talking about LowBuck. And I didn't even say nothing bad about him. And, well, I said a little bit about his drinking problem in this video, but that's it. Didn't call him no names.